In this section, we will talk about functions. We have just finished strings. Now we are moving on to functions. What are functions? We have already used functions. One of the most used functions so far in our course is the input function. Input. And then we prompted a string. So I enter a string. And then Python took care of prompting the string on the console, getting the string that the user has entered, and then bringing it back to a variable. How Python does it internally is not of a concern to us. We just use the function and it does a job. Let's take another example. Say we want to find out the length of a string. Say a simple string. We want to find out the length of that string. Say name equals the string, and then to find out the length of the string, we can do it in a couple of ways. A more laborious way to do it is to do it yourself. How would you do it? You would iterate over the entire string, alphabet by alphabet, and then take a count variable, keep adding the count of all the alphabets, and then finally, once the loop is over, you get the length of the string. You can do that using a for loop or a while loop, and by this point, you should be aware of how to do this using loops. But in all probability, you will never do it that way. The reason being, Python provides an inbuilt function called len, and then once you do len of name, it'll say 9 or 10, or it'll say the answer would be 9 characters, right? 4 plus a blank space. Now, how the function len does it is something that we don't have to worry about. It's not of a concern to us. That's the beauty of a function. A function does a job for you, and you don't have to worry about how it's doing it for you. Now, in a big project, there will be hundreds or thousands of functions that users might write. And if you have never programmed in a software environment, I'll give you a simple example. Say there's a team, right? Say you're creating a product and there's a manager, product manager, and then there'll be different teams. Say the project is a bank, you're working in a bank. And then there'll be UI team responsible for developing the web interfaces, and there'll be a database team, so on and so forth. And then there'll be a team working on building the backend Python framework. Now, within this team, now we're not going to bother about the UI team or the database team. We're going to focus only on the Python team. Now, the Python team is not going to be a one-person team, right? It's going to have 10 people, 100 people, depending on the size of the project. And say a particular team or a person is responsible for developing the business logic. One team will be responsible for integration. One team will be responsible for APIs, so on and so forth. Now focus on this part. Remember I said there are different teams, right? The business logic team will develop a range of functions, right? How to calculate interest on a checking account or a savings account of the bank, or how to calculate the balance on an account, because an account could have so many complications like demat account, brokerage account, so on and so forth. So there'll always be a function to calculate the balance. And then there'll be so many different functions and classes. We have not come to classes yet, but we'll just talk about functions. And then the integration team. Now, to calculate the interest on a bank account, there might be a complicated logic. The API team doesn't bother about that. They're not interested in the logic to find out what is the interest on a savings account. They're interested in building APIs that can interface with this application. So what they're going to do is they're going to just use this function in their own programming API and then use it to build their API. So the key thing to understand here is this team is just using a function that is written by some other team. And like I said, the API team does not worry about the business logic behind how the interest is calculated. That's the beauty of a function. So what is a function? A function, whether it's in Python, C language, C++, Java, a function is a self-contained unit. And when I mean self-contained, I mean self-contained in terms of the logic of how that functionality works. All you have to do is give instructions on what to do. So in the case of the example that we have discussed, calculate interest, this is a function. How interest is calculated, what interest rate is applied, how many days to be used. These might all be parameters that you might want to tell it. Meaning you give instructions to this function in terms of saying, I want to calculate interest for 10 days at 5% interest rate on this balance. The actual formula that's applied is something you don't have to worry about as a caller of that function. So you just give the instructions and all the logic is self-contained in that function. That's a function. So like I said, there are so many different inbuilt functions. Like we have seen some examples, input, length. But we're going to start off with creating our own functions first and then look at Python defined functions or functions defined in third-party libraries. So let's start off with user defined functions.